So this question asks, can you show how to split the image? This is what I use when I'm making sublimations and my printer does not print as big as my product. So this is a garden flag that I'm going to do, a Mother's Day garden flag. It is 12 by 18, and you're always going to make sure that your design is the same size as your product. So my product is 12 by 18. My design is 12 by 18. When I download it as a PNG. You can use any kind of design software. I use Inkscape. You can use Silhouette Studios. You can use Illustrator, whatever you use where you print off it. My image is now added here. The paper size on this says 8.5 by 11, which is letter size. My printer can do 8.5 by 14. So I'm going to change it to 8.5 by 14. My sublimation printer can do 8.5 by 14. That's what I'm changing it to. I always change the orientation to landscape because whenever I'm printing, I'm trying to get the max use out of it. If I do it the other way, it's going to be hard to try to split the image because you're either going to have to split it this way, which is not fun, or you're going to have to split it that way or in the middle, which it would leave off the two ends. You don't want to do that either. So I have legal and turn it back the other way. So that way I'm getting the max out of my paper. I'm not wasting too much paper. It's just the edges, which you're going to get that usually. The printer that I have does not print borderless, so I do have to be careful when I am printing, because if I do it to the border, it's not gonna just cut off that portion. It's just gonna push it down. So when I'm ready to start printing, if I need help on where I want the design to end so that I can overlap it, I just pull out a rectangular shape. I make that rectangular shape the size of the paper, which is 8.5 by 14. 8.5 by 14. That's the size of my paper. I'm going to also rotate it. So this will give me an idea of where I need to stop whenever I am splitting the image, because wherever it stops, the next page is where I'm going to overlap. I have a little bit of experience, so it's okay if it's over the words because I know how to match it. But if you're just starting out, whenever you create your designs, try to put your split where there's no words. That way you don't have to worry about trying to line up the words. Like this would be a good spot to do it, but of course you have a little bit of this that might get cut off, but that's okay. If it's your first time trying to learn how to split the image, it's fine. So when I go to print, I'm going to move this out the way because if you don't, it's going to print. I'm going to move that out the way, or you could change the color to nothing and then you keep it that way, but that's fine. Move this out the way. I hit print. I put all my settings in. I wait for that to print. So let's pretend that this part printed already. Now we're going to do the second portion. So remember, we had this, and all you do if you want to make sure you have the exact, just hit the undo button and it'll go back to where you were. You're going to hit Control C to copy it and then Control V to paste it. You're going to bring this down to about right here. Now, my trick to this is to still print a little bit over. So this is how it printed out, right? Whenever it's time to print the next section, I do an overlap just to make sure that I can line it up. So if it messed up some kind of way right here, I still have another portion that I'm going to print out. So when it's time to print out the next section, you want to grab everything and push it up to that line. So the line in the paper meet. Remember, my printer is not borderless, but if you have borderless, it works fine that way too. Then you're going to move this out the way because we don't need this one anymore. We already know that this is where the line is, this is where it stopped. The next one will be here. Now, if you need to do another one, you can just come back and get this one. And we know that this little piece will be what's left. If you have paper that's smaller, like 8.5 by 11, if you don't want to waste your 14 paper, you can just switch and make this part your 14. I mean, this part your 8.5 by 11. But if you don't want to do that, another thing that I do again, so let's say we take this off, it printed, we go back, Control Z, so we know that's exactly where it was. So it's only this little piece that's left. So what you could do is, let's kind of line it up with the other one. So what you could do is, again, pull this up, and I would print probably this much just to be on the safe side, to make sure that everything right here printed correctly. Again, if it didn't, you'll have this section now to work with. And then you go through, take these off, print this out, and then you should be able to put your images together. Use the heat tape, the heat transfer tape, to tape them together on the back side. Then you'll be ready to press.